Hello, and welcome back to Foos Entertainment for a review I've been wanting to do. In a lot of ways, this horror film festival was really me getting up to this point. Alright, Freddy vs. Jason. Just a safe warning, there's a pretty good chance I'll go over 15 minutes with this review. Now, let me first say off that I don't entirely hate this movie. Alright? Now, I know that a lot of people consider this a very good movie. I'm just not one of them. To give you guys a little bit of an idea, and I think you guys see this coming because unlike a lot of people that have reviewed this movie, I have actually reviewed every single one of the Friday the 13th movies and sequels to those films. I have reviewed every single one of the Freddy Krueger movies. So I have watched and reviewed every single Jason movie in every single Freddy movie leading up to this review. And paid very, very close attention to everything that happened in all those movies. And that right there is why I cannot give this movie a pass. Can't do it. We charge this thing up pretty good. Alright. Well, just to make it very clear to people who want to make a debate about this. This is why it's going to last probably about 30 minutes, this review. I'll try not to make it last that long, but I will definitely be going on a point-by-point bulletin because people need to realize and choke on their own words when it comes to this movie. When I'm at the list, talk out is all of the mistakes and flaws that disrespect or disregard events that have happened in previous films and installments of the Freddy Krueger movies and Jason Voorhees films. From the beginning of the movie to the end. With each character. So here we go. Let's start with Freddy. 1428 Elm Street was a condemned house. Let's put it this way. It became a condemned house, rugged, beat down, pretty much unlivable. You cannot live in it in the movie at all. Sorry, you can't live in the house at all. You cannot live in the house at all because it's a condemned, castrated house. It became this after the events of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. Therefore, it cannot look like people have been living in the house for the past 20 fucking years at the beginning of this movie, Freddy vs. Jason. Now, can that be done? It cannot be done. No one would be living in that house, and it pretty much states that people have been living in the house for a long time in Freddy vs. Jason. 1428 Elm Street from Nightmare 1 and 2 was a condemned and castrated house by the end of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. That's why it's an abandoned, beat down house when it's mentioned in the third film. Thanks a lot, Froyo, for not paying attention to that. Alright, next mistake. Weston Hills. If Weston Hills was still around, then why is it that Kincaid Joey and Christian were going to high school, living a suburban, average, domesticated life at the beginning of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. It doesn't take a lot of rocket science to figure this out. Weston Hills was shut down because of the events of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors, which is why Joey Kincaid and Christian are not in Weston Hills in the fourth movie. Hypnocil. Within the third film itself, it was an experimental drug not approved yet by the government. And when it was used and administered to our characters within the third film, the board of directors deemed it unusable and discontinued using it and pretty much fired Nancy and our main doctor from the third film, so I remember his name right at this, I can't remember it. Neil, yeah. But yeah, they were fired because they were using it. So, why is it that we're using it? In this movie. We wouldn't be using it in the movie. No matter the consequence. His odd mission in favor of this, Jason, is definitely shown in your face. Side effects include comatose states and psychological hallucinations and delusions. It's a side effect. Please advise your doctor before trying Hypnocil. Pay attention to Freddy vs. Jason, you'll see what I mean with that. Although I don't know where the hell Ronnie O got that idea from. Elm Street Children. Alright, this is where it gets really, really wrong. When you get to Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, there are only like 5 or 6 Elm Street Children left. And by the end of that movie, there's only Joey, Kincaid, and Christian left, which is 3. So why is it that Ronnie Yo makes it seem like, and obviously he watched Nightmare 3, he made it seem like there's a whole shitload of other Elm Street Children we didn't know about. Which brings to another fucking problem with Weston Hills Psychiatric Hospital as well as Hypnocil. That's not just only part of it right there. The other part of it is that, according to Nightmare on Elm Street film series, Freddy killed every single child of the parents who killed him. They're all dead. Every one of them, including Nancy, they're all dead. So why are there Elm Street Children whose parents torched Freddy in Weston Hills undergoing trials of Hypnocil? You're not thinking, Ronnie O, when you made this movie. It's pretty obvious you were not. Okay. Next. Freddy is not afraid of fire. The only time he's afraid of anything is when he's pulled out of the nightmare world into harsh reality. Because he's a mortal human being like you and me. But in the dream world, he is not afraid of fire. No. He's unstoppable and invincible in the dream world. Alright. Here's another big one right here. Now I know that in the 2010 remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, which I will be defending the shit out because I think it's a great remake because it's completely different from the franchise. Unlike other remakes, which I will be putting down. Freddy, except for in the 2010 remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street, is not, I repeat, is not, I repeat again, is fucking not a child molester. If you pay attention, and, you know, I just watched every fucking one of these movies. He is not a child molester. He's a child murderer. He doesn't kidnap children and then rape them or do weird things to them and then kill them. No, he doesn't do that. He's not a child molester. He kidnaps children, takes them to an area where no one is around, and he slaughters the child and kills them. And that is who Robert Englund's Freddy Krueger is. That's what he was before he got burned and turned into this supernatural villain that we all know. He was known as a Springwood slasher, and he would not rape children. He would just kidnap children and kill them. And this is the same Freddy that's in this movie. So, Ronnie Yo, why all of a sudden, out of the blue, after 7 movies, do you decide to disrespect all 7 films by turning Freddy from a serial killer who just kills children to a child molester who kills children? That makes no damn sense. Because he's not a fucking child molester, you idiot. Alright. Well, that's Freddy. So we got all the flaws that Ronnie did with Freddy out of the way. Now let's talk about Jason. Did a lot on this guy. Alright. Right off the bat, the last time I checked, Springwood is not next to Crystal Lake. That's a biggie. Next, I have yet to see in any of the actual Friday the 13th movies, have I actually seen Jason sleep. So Jason can't deal with, Jason doesn't sleep, how can Freddy invade his dreams and make him do things? But that right there, that one I'll let slide. Maybe he does sleep. But I will not let that first one slide. I mean, I don't see how Springwood could be next to Crystal Lake and everybody in Springwood is not talking about Jason and how he kills people in Crystal Lake. I reference it in some fucking way. So no, I do not believe that Springwood is located next to Crystal Lake. And so no, Jason could not walk from Crystal Lake to Springwood. Alright. Jason, believe it or not, I watched all these movies so I can confirm it for you. Jason does not have a phobia, nor is he afraid of water. He isn't. He's killed plenty of people, probably about a good 15 to 20 victims in his career as killing people. He has actually done it while being underwater. So no, he's not afraid of water. He don't fear water. That's a biggie right there. Oh yeah. Renner is in the supernatural worlds of Freddy Krueger and Jason in his dreamlike state or not. Freddy's plan to kill Jason in his dreams with his phobia of water, which he never had in any other movie but this one, would not kill Jason. But yet they clearly make it look like it would kill Jason in this movie. You cannot kill Jason. He's fucking dead. He's Frankenstein's monster. You can't kill Frankenstein's monster because Frankenstein's actually dead. He's a reanimated fucking corpse. And that's the same thing with Jason. Ever since the 6th movie, he's a reanimated corpse with supernatural principles. You cannot kill him, no matter what you do. Crap, there's really shitty, probably one of the worst movies out there. Pointless fucking sequel. Jason X explains that you, no matter what you fucking do to him, you just can't kill him. Same principle of this movie. You can't kill him. Alrighty. The ending of the movie. Again, I have yet to see Jason dream any of these movies. Alright. Not to mention, people obviously go on to the debate on who actually won. Freddy or Jason. Everybody thinks that Jason did. Well, technically none of them did. I'll tell you why. You can't kill Jason. You can't. It's been made very clear to you in these movies, you cannot kill him. He was killed for real in the 4th movie, but once he got brought back to life in the 6th film, he became completely unkillable. You cannot kill him. As for Freddy, you can kill Freddy, but it doesn't matter. Freddy is like the Hookman in the Candyman movies. He's like Candyman. Yeah, you can kill Candyman. It doesn't matter. Because once you say his name 5 times in the fucking mirror and turn the light off, he's back. Freddy is the same way. You can kill Freddy, but once somebody somewhere dreams Freddy up and gives him some fucking power, Freddy's back. That's a snap of a finger. Now let's go on to the premise of the film. Alright, the premise of the film. Timeline unknown. Freddy brings Jason back from the dead through manipulating his dreams, and he crawls out of hell back to harsh reality. Makes his way to Elm Street and starts killing teenagers in Elm Street. Freddy is trying to get fear of him go around so he can come back to life and start wreaking havoc in Springwood. The daughter of the physician who contracted Weston Hills to administer Hypnocil to anybody who's ever dreamed of Freddy, and then using it like a institution to put anyone and everybody who has ever dreamed of Freddy in so that they can contain it. Starts having dreams of Freddy after her one of her friends is killed, and starts trying to figure out what's going on. Finds out that everything that she's been told is a lie. Finds out her boyfriend, he was in Weston Hills because he dreamed about Freddy and thought he saw her dad kill his mom. Sorry, kill her mom, and he was committed. After seeing that someone died in her house, breaks out of Weston Hills with a friend who also was a victim of Freddy. He survived, and they make their way back to Springwood to try to protect her. Freddy is still trying to toy around and play with people's heads, trying to take the rest of our lead character, whose name is Lori. I guess I'll put that out there. Her name's Lori. Trying to kill the rest of her friends. And every time he gets close to killing one, Jason interferes in real life and harsh reality and kills him instead. And then, I shit you not, and this right here is ridiculous. The one friend out of this group of friends who is so much of a addicted stoner that he has to smoke all the time, gets into a semi-conscious state in literally a caterpillar version of Freddy with a big ass fucking supernatural bong. Gets the guy high. And this is why they're in Weston Hills trying to get hypnosis so they can stop themselves from dreaming, so that they can find a way to evade Freddy. Freddy possesses his mind and literally makes him toss all the pills down the drain. And then uses tranquilizers and knocks Jason out. You can't kill Jason no matter what the fuck you do to him. You can't keep him down. You can stab him, you can shoot him, he gets right back up a few seconds later. But supposedly if you take a couple syringes of tranquilizer and put it in his neck, he actually will pass out for a long period of time. That really makes no sense now, does it? Knocks Jason out, then we have her battle with Freddy and Jason in the dream world, and of course Freddy dominates because he has absolute power over there. Then, the stupid notion of Jason's afraid of water, which he never was in any fucking movie prior to this one. Freddy uses it against him, and we see kind of like, the backstory, like Lash going to where he was drowned, and supposedly he changed that too. Last time I checked, in the original film, it was just him. He decided to go out to swim, and he wasn't that very good of a swimmer, and he went out to the lake and he drowned, supposedly. That's the way it was in the original movies. They have to go a step further by having Jason, for sure this time, being a mongoloid. This foreign, I think we've seen a sort of freak-like kid. Have all these other kids chase him into the lake, and then he drowns. And Freddy's trying to invade that little dream, and I guess it's Jason's dream. He's trying to kill Jason that way. Laurie interferes because he goes into the dream world to stop Freddy from killing Jason. On their way to Camp Crystal Lake. Which brings to another fucking issue that I forgot to mention in the flaws of Ronnie Yo and how he made this movie. Ronnie Yo, if you paid attention to the Friday the 13th films, there is no more Crystal Lake. By the time you get to the second fucking movie, they take the sign down and then they kind of make it a condemned off limits campground. The third and fourth films take place in other campgrounds or cabin grounds. They're located nearby Crystal Lake, but this doesn't actually take place inside Crystal Lake. By the time we get to part 6, people assume that everything is fine, so they rebuilt the camp and made a new name out of it. Now it's known as Camp Forest Green. Then by the time it gets to part 7, again, it doesn't take place in Camp Crystal Lake, because Camp Crystal Lake is pretty much gone at this point in time. It's not Camp Forest Green anymore. It's not Crystal Lake anymore. It's just abandoned and condemned woods that no one goes to anymore. Crap is even a nod to it by having the Camp Crystal Lake sign underneath the fucking water in part 8. So there is no Camp Crystal Lake. But yet, they drive over to Camp Crystal Lake and the camp looks like it was never condemned or anything. It's there just waiting for children to come and play. Alright. Laurie pulls Freddy out of the dream world after Jason wakes up and is wreaking havoc, trying to kill the rest of the teenagers and all that stuff. Then Freddy and Jason had their epic fight. You can't kill Jason now because he's literally in the real world now. But we have a very, very, very good fight. Of course, Freddy has more blows towards Jason than Jason has towards Freddy. And so if he won the fight was based off of a point sparring configuration or determination, Freddy would have won. But probably isn't. Epic battle, lots and lots and lots of blood. By the end of the battle, Jason has put his fucking hand all the way for Freddy's midsection of his body, tore his arm off. Freddy's poked his eyes out with his claw. Freddy's hacked the hell out of him with his claw, with his machete, because actually at one point he actually had the claw in the machete and was hacking back and forth at him. Freddy was a badass. Hold his own against Jason very well. Then Laurie decides to blow up the campground a little bit. Blow it up and just toast them, both of them. And somehow Freddy survives it. He goes back on the pavement and walks towards Laurie and her boyfriend from the Weston Hills Psychiatric Hospital, and basically he's getting ready to hack him up with the machete, and then Jason pops out of the water and puts Freddy's claw right through his body like this. Hello, I'm a claw right here. And then Laurie chops Freddy's head off and remains fall into the lake. Then we had the stupid dream sequence showing Jason walking out of the lake holding Freddy's head like a trophy. Then, of course, Freddy winks at you. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. Well, I talked all about how much I don't like this movie. Let's talk about the fact that I said I don't hate this movie. This movie did what it was supposed to do. It just disrespected the fucking shit out of every Friday the 13th movie in every Nightmare on Elm Street film. It disrespected the hell out of everything that has been done throughout the years with these two characters in movie history. But it did deliver on what mattered. Freddy versus Jason. And it did that very, very well. But the Freddy versus Jason aspect of the movie may have been really, really, really good. But That's all that was good about this movie. Everything else about this movie fucking sucks. It sucks that Ronnie Yo disrespected every Freddy Krueger movie and every Jason Voorhees movie ever made with this fucking movie. You can't disregard events. You can't disregard things that are essential to the film series that have happened throughout the years. You cannot disregard them and act like they never happened. You can't start making shit up out of your ass saying that Freddy's afraid of fire and Jason's afraid of water. Although Freddy is definitely not afraid of fire and Jason sure as hell is not afraid of water, considering the fact that he has played kind of the persona of Jaws the Killer Shark by killing people by pulling them into the fucking water in the movies. But what it did deliver on, it was entertaining. It was a very entertaining movie. It made me frustrating for me to watch because Ronnie Yo disrespected the film series, both of them. But with that said, it's a very entertaining movie. I had no problem with how entertaining the film is. It's actually not that bad of a movie, entertainment-wise. The actors and characters, not all of them are completely annoying. Some of them are actually kind of cool, so I didn't mind that. The fight between Freddy and Jason, all of the fights between them, one in the dream world, the climax one, which is the main fight, main event one, very, very well done. So I can't completely 100% hate this movie. So let's just simply say I hate this movie on like a 65% by 100% percentage. And I like this movie on a 45 to 65. So I don't completely hate this movie. But I'm not going to sit around like everybody else on the internet and on YouTube and talk about how great Freddy vs. Jason is when there's so many fucking mistakes in this movie that disrespects every movie that came before it on both of its key characters, Freddy and Jason. I'm not going to go ahead and act like that's not the case, because it is. Well, that's my views on Freddy vs. Jason. Did you like Freddy vs. Jason more than I did or not? Do you like this video? Do you not like this video? As always, subscribe, check back me from time to time. Share this video with friends, and I will see you guys next time for another movie that I will have a love-hate relationship with. And that would be Rob Zombie's Halloween. That would be my next film I will be reviewing. And until then, I will see you guys later.